What's going on, San Antonio Spurs Nation? Welcome to a film room with Coach Rob Trejo Jr. That's me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like film room breakdowns and diving into, Spurs basketball and really trying to figure out what's happening on the floor. And we're not going to go over a lot of highlights and things like that. We're going to try to break down the full fourth quarter as if I was in the locker room and we're watching it, together as a group, as a unit. As a coach, I have plenty of experience doing this and breaking down film and all that stuff. This is going to be more of a just rewatch fourth quarter breakdown. We're going to be looking at some of the Spurs draft picks and some of the Spurs players that are on two-way contracts, like Dominick Barlow and Jordan Hall, who is currently right here on your screen, number 30. Right. And we have Blake Wesley here as well that we're going to be keeping an eye on. That's pretty much it here. On the Cavaliers, number 30, Agbaji was giving it to us all game long. He had a great game. So we'll keep an eye out on how we're regarding him. So let's take a look at this fourth quarter. First off, we're going to see Jordan Hall and the Spurs kind of come up with a good defensive stop here, right? First off, Jordan Hall does a good job getting through this back screen. Not much really of a screen there. The Spurs are doing a good job of being aggressive on defense and putting ball pressure, denying when you're one pass away. This is something that we talk about on the floor with my team and with my unit, and that's always being aggressive when you're one pass away. You're in a deny position, right? We're talking about defensive stance, right? Deny with the arm up, trying to deny this pass that's trying to go from right here to right here, right? Meanwhile, Blake Wesley's going over again, a screen that's not really doing much, not too much of an issue there. So here we go, another back screen here for the Spurs to fight over. Again, fighting over screens is something that you want to do at this point with Agbaji because he's already hit 2 or 3 threes at this point and he's lining you up. So what we're talking about on defense is you want to go over the screen right here so that the offensive player doesn't catch this ball with enough room, right? We're going to talk about all that plenty as we go through this. Good job shutting that pass down. So at this point, the Spurs have done a great job shutting this play down. They're going to make a post entry pass here, go underneath the screen. Good job staying in front. And now the Cavs are going to spread the floor, as you've seen here. I got all the floor spread, plenty of room for this pick and roll action. The Spurs are switching everything in this summer league. They were just switching every screen that they have, which means that Blake Wesley is going to have to commit to a tough box out here. But that's okay. You got Jordan Hall doing another good little thing and offering help here, being in the right spot to offer help for Blake Wesley if on this box out if need be, right? Knowing that he has a shooter over here in the corner. Good job on the switch from the big man, stopping ball, not getting caught up on any fakes or anything like that. Puts the shot up. Plenty of black jerseys around, come up with the rebound, and we're off and running. Something that we're going to see here in the fourth quarter a little bit is Jordan Hall initiating the offense. A lot of people are saying he's slow-mo-esque, and I would say there's some truth to that, except, I think slow-mo had a more polished, set of skills. They're a little bit more raw. Okay, so the Spurs are on the offensive side of the ball now. We're going to see them initiate this offensive set. And they don't run it correctly. I believe it's supposed to be a double screen right here. Number 40 is going to set the first one, and then over here in the corner 16, I believe it's Stewart. He's about to hightail it up to this spot right here because that's where he's supposed to be, I guess. The Spurs made a call here. This is kind of out of transition. So it's really how the Spurs want to operate in the secondary break. And what the secondary break means, for those of you guys that are watching and you want to learn a little bit more about the game and the different areas of the game, right? Well, there's transition, right? Like we got the rebound and we're heading down to the other end. That's your transition. Now, once everyone is down here and the defense is kind of set up, but not fully set up, you want to have actions that are quick that you're initiating immediately. So that's why Jordan Hall can bring up the ball right here and initiate this offense. And he's going to initiate this double pick and roll, right? We're not even setting it right. We didn't even really set the second screen, but the first big man is going to roll to the basket, right? So let's break this down a little bit because you're going to see this play plenty of times. It's a very simple play. We run it in high school, to be honest. We run this double, it's a double screen and roll. So you got one screen, you got two screens, and what you want to do is you want to bring the ball handler off these screens, and then he has to read the defense and see what the defense gives him. If they give him a wide open lane to the basket, well, you take that lane. If the defense doesn't do a good job of communicating, and either your big man is open at the basket or your second guy is going to pick and pop, you make the right play if you're the ball handler. That's your job. That's your job as a point guard, is to be able to break down the defense, and that's not just by scoring, right? So they're gonna run this play. He's gonna pick and roll, pick and pop, right? The first big man rolls to the basket. The second one is gonna pop out to the three. Jordan Hall makes the right read. He's gonna make this pass right here. If you take a look at all the Cleveland defense, they've sunk and they're not communicating all that well. They've at least sunk to the paint, which is a good start, but then they don't really do a great job communicating past this point. So we have a wide open shot here. If you wanted to take it, that's plenty of daylight to take it. But something that the Spurs do really well in San Antonio and something that they do really well in Austin is they move well without the ball. If you take a look at this Spurs player and Blake Wesley up in the floor, they're going to exchange, right? So one's going to clear out. One's going to clear out to the other side, and then Blake Wesley's going to come up. Now that puts Agbaji here in a tough spot, and also this defender here. There's not enough communication going on the Cleveland side to really be able to defend this well, right? So Agbaji is going to commit to ball because that's the right thing to do if you're Cleveland. If you're Cleveland, you were playing two guys. He was playing two guys. One of them left, but who's the most important guy on the floor? If you're coaching or if you're watching this because you want to learn about basketball and defense, you talk about the most important guy on the floor is always the guy with the ball, right? So this is a good defensive commitment. Stays here, brings up Wesley, brings up the big man, who Wesley's going to go ahead and just put a driving kick action here. All right, so now we got Cleveland. They've settled in. They figured it out. The Spurs settled down for a second. Blake Wesley is going to just dribble and drive and push. And what we're going to do is we're going to end up finding Jordan Hall on this side. He's going to give you a nice little step in move, a little jab step right here, a second jab step to create a little bit more space, right? We're looking at Jordan Hall here with the ball and how he's going to work to create space. He doesn't hit this shot, but it's a good move, right? He gives the defender, sets up a nice hard jab step, right? Keeping your pivot foot. That's what you teach. This is very fundamental. And this is one of the reasons why you like Jordan Hall so much, is because he's not the most athletic, and honestly, he's not the best shooter, and honestly, he's not, the best scorer either, but he's very fundamentally sound. He is like a coach's dream. That's what I've been telling a friend of mine that we've been watching film. It's like, yo, this guy is doing all the little things the right way. And so, this is a very technical jab step here where he just rises up into a shot. It doesn't go down. Good shot anyway. Transition defense is key to everything, right? So you're seeing the Spurs come back in transition. We talked about that earlier, right? So I'm going to go ahead and kind of move through the film a little bit more. In transition, we got to be able to communicate, get set, and offer help, and be able to kind of deal with chaos, right? That's the whole purpose of transition defense. Is you might not be guarding the guy that you're supposed to, but you got to guard someone, and someone's got to stop ball, and you got to box out if they put up a quick shot. So we do a good job right here of slowing them down. Blake Wesley does a good job here on ball, staying low, staying ready. Ball gets kicked around, a little switch, a little jammed up here on this switch. Not really a big deal. It's going to leave enough space for Stewart here to pick up ball. Right now, let's talk about this play really quick. Let me see. Here we go. Stewart right here is guarding ball. Number 16 is guarding ball. He gets caught up reaching. And this is the difference between college and the NBA. All you have to do is reach once. And if you're going to show right here, if you're going to show that, and you better be able to recover, or if we're in this type of team mindset that we're going to reach and we're going to gamble, everyone's got to be on the same page, and we got to be able to offer help here, or offer help here from Blake. There's plenty of defenders here to offer help, if I'm being honest. Like, one, the big men can step up, which would mean that Jordan Hall is going to rotate over to his guy, or there can be help offered here. help offered here. And honestly, the real issue is that you reached and now you've given a wide open lane to the guy with the ball, and here he goes. Here he goes all the way to the rim. Easy bucket, right? Just for a simple reach. It's like, as a coach, this drives you crazy. Let me tell you why you talk about this and why you talk about being solid, or like being solid on the defensive end. It's because they've done everything right. Look, they missed a shot. Okay, whatever. Like, that happens all the time. You got to have good transition defense. Blake Wesley's taking care of the big man running the floor. No big deal. Right? So good stuff. Everyone's caught up. Nobody's lost. We stop ball. We make them kick it out. Nothing easy. They have to reset their offense. As a defense, you just did your job. You just did your job in transition. You've made the offense pull it out, slow it down, and now they have to run something to get something, and you don't want to give them anything easy. So congratulations, you've done pretty well so far. You've worked pretty well off the first couple of actions. Now it comes down to just being a one-on-one defender, because in the NBA, that's what it is. It's basically a team organized way to play one-on-one basketball. And when you reach one, guys are capable at this level to just burn you for it. And that's what happens here. So, that's the NBA for you right there. Okay, so again, we're just 2 minutes in. We're a minute into this game. That's what I'm saying. This is going to be a long video, and if you're here for it, I appreciate you. Let's keep watching some Spurs basketball and just talking about it and breaking it down and try to help you understand the game. If you're a coach, help you understand and help you see things a certain way and help you understand what you're seeing on the floor. Start noticing these trends, start seeing what the problems are with your unit. What's poking out, because it's different from game to game. It's different from quarter to quarter. That's the great thing about coaching, is that, you're constantly in this state of like trying to either figure things out or keep things going well. And that's the beauty of this game, right? So let's go ahead and keep going. The Spurs are going to go ahead and set up this double up screen, or down screen, I guess you can say, to bring up Stewart from the corner. But again, the Spurs aren't running really anything particularly well at this point. This was the first game of the Summer League, fourth quarter. As you can see, the big man here is like, oh, snap, I messed up. And he's setting a screen. And, so I don't know. I'm not really sure. But you know what? You just keep playing, right? At this point, you expect that. If you're a coach, you expect your continuity not to be all that great. But you keep playing, you keep spacing out, you keep communicating. Here's Hall doing another great thing, like just communicating well, trying to help out his teammates. He probably knows that Stewart needs a little help right now. It's a little bit congested in this area. It can very easily lead to a turnover. Go ahead. That's a nice little pick and roll pass right there. Darius Days knocks it down, right? So it made a little lemonade out of lemons, right? They gave you lemons, make your lemonade. Right, Darius Days did that. If you're good enough to do it, there you go. All right, so right here, what we're going to take a look at is Blake Wesley, and a little bit of an improvement area. He's done a great job so far, being aggressive on defense and being active, but you can't fall asleep. And to me, you're falling asleep if this is what you get. Now, at the end of the day, Agbaji here is going to miss this 3-point shot. But what I want to talk about here, and if I'm sitting in this film room session and I'm talking with Blake Wesley and we're with the coaching staff and we're breaking down this film together, we're talking about working around this screen that's coming and the recognition that Blake has to have at this point of the game. It's the fourth quarter. It's fourth quarter. We're down 15. Still 8 minutes to go. Anything can happen. You got to keep playing, and you can't fall asleep at the wheel, knowing your personnel. And that's what we're talking about. You got to know at this point that Agbaji over here has been lighting you up all day. So you don't want to give him an inch of daylight, right? So there's a screen coming. Now, your big man who's guarding this fellow over here needs to be a communicator. He needs to tell Wesley, hey, screen right, meaning that, hey, there's a screen coming from your right side, and he's going to have to either go over it or go under it. The thing is that because starting so high, you want to go underneath this screen, right? There's too much open space here to try to get jammed up going over a screen. So you go underneath, but you go underneath knowing that, you know, you need to be hugging this 3-point line as much as possible, right? So he kind of sinks a little bit too low, gives Agbaji plenty of room to catch here. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a bucket. I mean, he hit 4 of them already or something at this point. So, you know, if you're Blake Wesley, this is a little bit too much space here. And the contest does its job. If you want to get into the nitty gritty of it, yeah, fine. He misses a shot, but that was wide open. And if that's Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, Devin Booker, De'Aaron Fox, if that's whoever it is that Blake Wesley might end up matched up on at some point, you know, because we don't have DeJounte anymore, we don't have Derek White anymore. It's like, bro, you're gonna need to know your personnel, and you're gonna need to know if a guy deserves this much space on the catch, because that's what it is. If he's not a shooter and if he's not hitting, you know, any threes on you, whatever, you go underneath that screen all day, you sink as low as you can, but know your personnel as you move forward. Message being put, all right, offensive rebound, you don't want to give that up. They're going to go ahead and set up another pick and roll. Good defense here by Jordan Hall. All right, talk about Jordan. Let's talk about this defensive effort here from Jordan Hall, who helps the Spurs come up with this stop. Another reason why you like this guy so much, why we're signing him, is because he does a lot of little things very well. The little things he does very well. He's not going to do the big things like score, rebound, and drop dimes and steals. He's not going to do like many of that stuff, but all the other little things that it takes to be a good basketball player, he has those in spades with poise. First off, he doesn't get caught up on this screen right here. You see how he's already at a disadvantage? His feet are over here. This defender's like, I'm taking this lane. There you go. Taking this lane right here. What's so impressive is that, you know, this guy is pretty athletic and Jordan Hall is not. Okay. But he's still able to change his hip directions, change the directions of his feet. And so he can stay in a good defensive position to stay with his guy after he's getting moved. See, right there, this little move right here is where your money's made. Whoever does this the best probably gets the most minutes on the Spurs this season. If you're able to get beat, recover, take a bump here, and then still make a defensive play on the ball without picking up the foul and actually leading to a stop. If you're a coach right now, you're like, I need some of that. I need me some of that. You know, that's why we're keeping him. It's because it's hard to get people to do that. I mean, are you seeing anyone else really do that at this level? You know, I would say he was coming in, at least in this game against Cleveland. He's very impressive. Like I said, very fundamentally sound. All right, so here we go. Spurs in this 4 out, 1 in, drive and kick offense. Jordan Hall putting the ball on the floor. Probably something he's not going to do too much. But the Spurs are just being aggressive, driving, putting the ball on the floor, trying to break down the defense and get to the paint under control. Right? This is what the defense's goal is. Like, mission accomplished once you get to here. But now it's all about making the right read. So, you know, if we're going to dissect this play a little bit, Blake Wesley, he's collapsed the defense. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 eyes on ball. Actually, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it's all up to Blake to make the right play. And he goes up into his shot, gets defended pretty well here by 33. And that's something that wasn't that impressive from Blake. Now, what do you talk about with him moving forward? You know, what are your other options, Blake? Well, you did a great job of getting under control here into his jump stop. But at that point, you need to see you got a wide open shooter out here, out on the wing, and just make the right play as the defense reacts, right? So he goes up into a shot. Good defense here. Number 38 had a hand on that as well. And keep it moving. Want to see Blake finish a little bit, you know, better than that. Again, he did a great job overall in the summer league. This is just game 1. All right. So let's break down this offensive set. It's very interesting whenever you see a team, if you're a lover of this game or a coach or a mind, you love looking at baseline out of bounds plays. You love looking at sideline out of bounds plays. and seeing what they produce and how they're run. So the Spurs are, let's break it down here. So this, let me bring up my tools here. Okay. So Blake Wesley is going to inbound the ball. The Spurs are setting two guys up here on top, and then you got two screeners set here at your elbows. So really you have this diamond formation. Usually when you see this diamond formation, there's going to be a couple of screens being set. The Spurs are going to go ahead and initiate this play. Okay, so what they're doing is they're bringing both guys off back screens, right? So they're going to bring Josh Primo around this screen right here set by Jordan Hall, and they're going to bring Darius Day set off this back screen. So you got the bigs running a screen for each other on one side, and then you have the guards running a back screen for each other on the opposite side of the floor, and just see if you can get anything easy for these two guys heading towards the rim, right? Like that's option number one, is to try to get these guys something easy going to the rim. But if that doesn't work out, then let's see what happens here. All right, so they're going to go ahead and run that. Then your two bigs are just going to pop out for relief. All right, and then next thing you know, we're running this double down screen action. That's actually pretty cool. I don't know if they meant to do that, but that's pretty interesting. If you can get that pass off, that's a pretty interesting play to get the inbounder a shot. So if your goal is to get your inbounder a shot here, maybe you run this play because it has a couple layers to it. Layer number one, right? Layer number one, you got your two guys coming off these back screens to see if there's anything easy you can get at the rim, right? Layer number two is that when this four guy, because this is your four man, right? So this is he sets a lot of screens anyway. So he's coming off this screen. I'm going to bring my arrow out here. He's coming off this screen to set a screen for the inbounder, to set the first screen, right? Okay, so let's keep an eye on that. Let's just keep an eye out for Darius Days on this inbound play. Okay, so he's going to go, we're going to initiate that, right? Nothing easy. Now here he gets to this spot. Now he's not really asking for the ball at this point. He's getting ready to set that first screen that we were just talking about. Now you have your other big man, your five guy, who's going to be your relief guy, and you're going to get this pass into. And that's why this makes me think that maybe it's not a design play, because this is actually kind of a risky pass to make, if you're asking me. But you get it in. Now you're going to get Blake Wesley being able to come and receive this ball off a double screen, right? Coming out this way. So he's going to come out and receive the screen first coming off a screen from Darius Days, and then he's going to receive off a handoff from the big guy. So that's see like what we're going over here. The whole point now, like the reason why I'm saying this is a good play for the guy inbounding the ball is because look how jammed up Agbaji gets. One, he has to go through one screen. Two, have to go through another, which forces the what? The mismatch. It forces the switch, right? So Blake Wesley now has an advantage, but he doesn't take advantage of it per se. Just goes ahead and reacts to the defense because number 33 here is not leaving his big man on an island, right? He's saying, I'm going to come and help and show two and show a trap. So now we got to make Blake Wesley a good decision maker when dealing with high ball pressure, right? So there he is. Here comes two defenders, recognizes it early, kicks it out. The defense is on a string from Cleveland. That's a good effort there from the defense. He's coming to react to ball. Jordan Hall already knows what's coming. Primo is over here telling Blake Wesley from the other side of the court, saying, go ahead and kick that ball out one. And he's already in a position that's low and ready to shoot. So once this ball gets kicked out from the double team, you know Primo's already waiting for it. And you know Jordan Hall is already waiting to make this pass too. You know, it's a very high IQ thing to do from Jordan Hall. That's what I'm saying. He's very impressive. You know, he's not going to do anything flashy, but he's very impressive. Makes the right play. Primo's ready. Sees that he's got daylight. Puts the shot up. Doesn't go down. But look, man, that's great basketball. Again, we're not here to look at highlights. That's what I'm telling you. We're not going to look at highlights here. Okay. Like it's a great offensive sequence. The inbound play needed a little bit of work, but then out of the inbound play, what did you do? You just read and react, just penetrate, kick. They showed a double team, and you made lemonade. Just make lemonade. All right. So it's about getting these guys to play, right? Understand, be good basketball players. All right, so here we go. We got another sideline out of bounds play, right? So what I was saying earlier is that if you're a coach, you love this stuff. You love sideline plays. You love baseline inbounds plays. Sometimes they're very crucial. Certain amount of time left on the clock. You're down two. You need a bucket. Things like that. That's why you do it. That's why you coach. I mean, I have so many experiences, man. I mean, I'm lucky to have coached with some great coaches, man, that have some great plays to run, and were giving me opportunity to help run those plays at the varsity level. Is awesome. This is a very small but important part of your game, of your whole game. Like if you're maybe not at the NBA level as much because the floor is so big. You got to be really smart with your plays. Like you're not going to get a quick, I don't know, sometimes it all just depends. The Spurs run amazing plays from the sideline and the baseline. If you're Coach Pop, right? We've seen it for years for game winners, all that stuff. All right, so we're going to get a back screen set here to enter the ball. All right, so just a lot of congestion, a lot of that didn't work, this didn't work. All right, just get it, space it out. Coaches are like, okay, yeah, put the clipboards away because we're just going to play basketball for a second. Little pick and roll, good spacing, drive and kick, and just be ready to play. Boom, we knock it down. Again, the Spurs making lemonade out of lemons in this Cleveland game, right? We're not going to pay attention to the score. We know we're down 15, but look, that's what we're breaking down basketball is what we're doing. And if you're watching this video, that's why you're here. All right, so just a nice driving kick from Josh Primo. The defense from Cleveland is really committing to stopping penetration, which means that shooters got to be ready to shoot. Not the most prettiest shot I've ever seen from Blake Wesley, but he did a great job putting it in the hole. Oh, it was on that play right there where he gets a cramp on his calf, I believe what it is. He comes back into the game late in the fourth. But all right, so let's see Josh Primo guarding ball. So does a good job getting underneath the screen. Good communication there. Jordan Hall being aggressive, fighting over the screen. Stays low, stays aggressive in front, keeps the pressure on, doesn't let the guy with the basketball get anything easy, right? Jordan Hall is making sure that he feels him the entire time, puts the pressure on him, stays aggressive, keeps his active hands going to try to deflect this pass, doesn't get caught up on this back screen because it easily got caught back door at this point as well. Doesn't do that. Now we do have a gamble coming from Big 4-0 over here, which is leaving a wide open lane to the basket for Cleveland. Let's see what happens here. Now we're just playing basketball. Darius Days. Is that Darius Days, right? Darius Days comes up with the help, showing help. Let me look. Darius Days is having to do a lot. Let's talk about him because right now he's the savior of this defensive play. Right now, Jordan Hall did a great job staying on ball. And one little gamble, as I'm saying, man, as a coach, it drives you nuts when you have such a great defensive possession. Like you stop it, you're stopping it, the clock's winding down, and then one guy gambles and you give up a bucket. Like that's what drives coaches nuts. But anyways, so Jordan Hall did a good job. Big 4-0 here is going to gamble. Now, meanwhile, Darius Days and Josh Primo are going to switch on the off-ball action, which is something that they do all the time. It's like a Spurs staple now. Switch that. Whenever there's like an off-ball action, meaning that these two guys are going to switch, instead of Josh Primo trying to stay with him and him trying to stay with him, they just switch it. But what this does cause is a little bit of, impressive reaction, time here from Darius Days to, one, understand the switch, two, understand now that he has to help his teammate who is way out here now. And so who's the most important guy on the floor? Like we talked about earlier in this film session, the guy with the ball. So even though his guy is going to take off to the corner, he has to commit to the basketball. Right now, he ends up coming up with a foul, which is a bad call. I mean, I think this is pretty good defense right there. If anything, the offensive guy put his arm down. He ends up coming up with a foul there. So I don't know about that foul, but it's a good defensive effort by Darius Days. I believe he's playing somewhere. Y'all can let me know in the comments below. Blake Wesley checks out of the game due to that calf cap that we're talking about earlier. Calf cramp that we're talking about earlier. Excuse me. All right, so we're only a few minutes in. All right, so we're gonna kind of keep it moving. I'm not gonna try to break down every single play now. Good box out here from Josh Primo. You know, that's a little thing that you see as a coach, is that your point guard or maybe your two guard right now on the floor is boxing out the other team's small forward, power forward, pushes him out of the way, make sure he doesn't get that rebound, and we're off and running. It's a good little box out from Josh Primo. Again, in secondary break, we talk about it. This is transition. Transition, secondary break. All five guys are back on defense, and the Spurs are going to set up immediately into a double pick and roll, which keeps the defense moving and shifting, right? So it's a great secondary break to enter into your playbook if you're a coach. Is that out of transition? You know, one of the things that should be habit. It's not a play. It's not a play that the coach calls like, hey, double screen out of secondary break. That's not what he's saying. It's habit. You teach your bigs and you do that through your practices. You build all that stuff out. All right. So Stewart's going to put the ball on the floor, almost lose it, catch Malaki Branham wide open, who puts the one dribble pull up on him and knocks it down. Oof, let's talk about Malaki Branham. All right. So Malaki Branham, this is what's extremely impressive about the 19-year-old, is that he's coming into the league with a catch, pump fake, doesn't step out of bounds, which is impressive, puts the ball on the floor one time, under control. This dribble right here is not a full steam ahead dribble. I'm going all the way to the basket and I don't know what's in front of me, and and I'm going to pick up a foul or I'm going to go out of control. No, look at this dribble. It's one dribble under control into his rhythm, into his proper footwork, spot up mechanics. Under control, sees the separation between him and the defender 41, right? Knows that, hey, man, I'm not going to try to go dunk it on this guy. I am looking for daylight, and I found it. Here it is. Bucket. Very poised. That's an extremely impressive move by Malaki Branham at this point. And his early in his career, it's pretty impressive to see. All right, so let's see what happens here. Josh Primo trying to stay with this screen, but again, the Spurs are switching everything. So the big man is helping. At that point, they're saying, I'm good. Josh Primo's like, I'm good. Stay with your guy. Stay with your guy. Luckily, this gamble here didn't cost us, right? Like how they have been in this fourth quarter. Right now, number 40 is a little bit lost. Doesn't know where his guy is. Number 33 is kind of recognizing that at this point, that number 40 is lost and his defender is way over here off screen. So they're going to go ahead and make this pass. Great pass. Josh Primo is going to do a little pick and roll action, keep the switch. Again, number 33, what was awesome about what he was doing here on the floor was he was always offering help to the big guy that was caught up on the switch. Because right now, Primo wants this switch. He's like, give me this guy. And number 33 over here, little Larry Bird Legend Jr. is like, no, sir, not on my watch. So boom, we're going to show a double team, which means what? Primo's going to have to make a decision to get rid of the ball. He's got to make the right decision, which has to deal with these two guys that he has on the floor on this side. And I think there's Akbaji, playing two. So this guy has to play two guys. And Malaki does the right thing here by trying to show help by getting to this spot, because this is the spot that Primo can make a pass to. The pass to this spot here is a lot easier than it would be way out here, and right now this defender's doing a pretty good job of eliminating the pass out here. Throws a wild pass, ends up being a turnover. That's an area in Primo's game that he's going to have to work on and get better at is reacting to the trap. You don't see a lot of traps though in the NBA, but still, he's got to be a better decision maker in general. 5 minutes and 35 seconds into the fourth quarter. What we're going to take a look at on this defensive possession by the Spurs is Josh Primo. He's going to be locked in on just about every action on this possession, right? First one coming from Cleveland is creating a switch right here with this back screen that's going to be set on Malaki Branham. Cleveland's going to go ahead and set this down screen. Sorry, this down screen is going to bring up Agbaji to get the ball. Now, the Spurs are switching everything at this point on defense, right? So they're going to go ahead and switch this screen, which is going to get Joshua position into a denial position, right? Defensively, has his arm out here to deflect any pass that might be coming from behind him, right? So good switch, good communication on the defensive side here, sticks with his guy, absorbs the contact, goes underneath the screen, hustles around to get his back leg back in front. Now, this is all the very textbook by Primo. This is a lot of defensive actions happening all at once. First, you got the switch on the screen. That's first. Good communication. Going underneath this screen and sticking with him on the handoff. Dominick Barlow's down here, should be communicating with him at this point. There's so much open space for Josh Primo to work. Now it's just for him to make the right decision on ball. I mean, you would think Agbaji right now is looking to do some type of sidestep 3-point shot with all of this open space. But Primo does a really good job of fighting underneath this screen to get back over. And that's what I kind of want to take a look at for a second, is this leg right here. This is the effort. This is where all the work gets done, is right here in this leg. Look at all the effort that it takes to get back in front to guard his guy. Josh Primo is going to go underneath, get back in front, and swing that same leg over the defender back in front to get into this position right here. Right now, he's back in front, ready to guard ball, and aware of his surroundings and the players and the screens that are around him at this point. Which is very impressive by Primo. So he does a good job of staying down, staying low, absorbing the contact, staying with his guy, contest. That's all you can do. It's a great contest. That's good defense, which leads to them getting an offensive rebound and a putback right here. Someone gave up an offensive rebound. Let's go ahead and look at what happened here. That's Malaki. Let's see if Malaki ever takes his eyes off of what's happening on the floor, and to see if he loses track of his guy here for a second. So shot goes up. Everyone turns around and looks at the ball. Everyone's looking at the basketball. Okay. We're like in a no catch over here, I guess. Stewart's over here, no catching number 11 or 17. I believe who is that? I forget who that is, but I think he was drafted in the first round. Not sure. Anyways, we give up the offensive rebound here. Oh, that's Blake's guy. Blake's guy gets in front of him. And that's what happens when you just start watching the basketball and you don't box out. So, when the shot goes up, right at this point right here, every single person on the floor needs to be finding somebody to box out, not look at the basketball. Go take somebody else out of the picture and let's get this rebound. So Barlow does a good job of headhunting the big guy, and then that's about it, right? So we give up the offensive rebound, which leads to just the whole collapse of the defense. Branham is over here guarding ball. His guy comes around for the tip, easy bucket. That's again, it's these great defensive possessions that cost you because of one little mistake, one little gamble, one little non-box out, right? Primo's coming off this high screen and roll, finds Malaki Branham on the backside for the bucket. Great chemistry between these two. This is a great find, is a great set from the Spurs. All right, so what the Spurs are going to do here to get this 3-ball for Malaki Branham is first they're going to set a high screen and roll with Dominick Barlow. And at the same time, I'm not sure if this is by design, but Stewart's going to come and set this back screen here for Branham at the same time, right? So here we go. Let's see it play out. Here comes one. As soon as that screen gets set, here comes the second one. Now, if you see his defender is way down here. So whoever this guy is the one that's costing them on this play. He's protecting the rim from who? I don't know. So, I don't know if he's there to help on the roll guy, and now he has to cover all this ground to get back out to shooter. It's a great recognition from Josh Primo coming off this pick and roll, connecting a nice bullet left hand flip pass. This is a really nice pass from Primo at this point of his career, is showing off the skill right there. Left-handed on the money, right in the pocket, ready for Malaki. Malaki has his hands up, ready to catch, turns in motion, squares up. There's nobody around and just knocks it down. Great three-point shot. Great setup there by the Spurs. Coming back down on defense to see how Malaki and Primo operate on this switch. No problem switch. That's Primo leading the way. Staying down, saying, I got your help. I got your help. You're going to switch that little handoff as well. Back around front. Okay, no big deal. Right now, no big deal. Here comes the pick and roll now. So we did a pretty good job as a unit, guarding a couple of exchanges out here on the perimeter. Right now, we got the big guy coming to set a screen, and let's see how Dominick, Barlow, and Primo and Branham operate on this side of the floor. So here it comes. Wait, did he just? Okay, no, he still hasn't dribbled. Okay, I was like, did he dribble and double dribble? The refs not call that. No big deal. They're going to operate in this pick and roll. We're going to have to commit to this switch. What that means is that, like, if Primo's going to get this jammed up on this switch, Barlow can help everyone out by screaming on the top of his lungs, switch, switch, Primo, switch, switch, switch. And just so Primo knows, okay, like, I'm going to stick with this guy. I'm not going to try to recover. And it gives, Barlow purpose and, a decision to make already. So he stays with this guy and needs to do a little bit better job not fouling. He probably could have got picked up for the foul right there in the NBA. If he's going to stay in front, can't fall for the first move. Barlow can't fall for their first move. Right here, he gives him a little inside out dribble. Boom, gets him. Can't fall for that. Just wait for him at the rim. Wait for him at the rim. Be able to contest. Primo stays connected to his new guy as well. Shot goes up, finds him, puts an arm out on him, puts a body on him. Could have been a foul. I think the first time, I think Primo's about to let the referee on the baseline know that, hey, that right there is a foul. Number 41 can't and use his off arm like that to push me off, right? And now he gets the rebound, and then he gets the foul call. He's going to the free throw line, and Josh Primo looks at the ref and he's like, "Bro, come on, man. He's pushing me off." So he's following this ref step for step, step for step, until he can let him know that, bro, the only reason why he got that call was because he pushed me off. And in this case, Primo is not wrong in this instance. So, he's going to get a couple free throw attempts. No big deal. Let's keep it moving. The coach needs to tell him too. I'm pretty sure that Coach Mitch Johnson was all over that. Gambles. You gamble in the NBA, bro. You come on, man. In college, maybe, but if you gamble in the NBA, you're giving up a wide open alley-oop dunk, like something. So you can't be, if you're Cleveland, that this type of stuff's going to kill you. So we got to take advantage, right? Drive, kick, keep penetrating, keep being aggressive. Good stuff. Good shot. I'll live with this shot from Malaki Branham. Again, very extremely poised, catching the ball in the corner. 1-2 dribbles. I found my daylight. I'm rising up, and he's just got to be able to put this in the hole. But the spot location is crazy. The ability to put the ball on the floor with purpose and with poise and under control physically, to be able to like get to a spot and physically be under control to get up and get a shot off is very impressive. Just needs to knock it down. Barlow coming in on the backside needs to perhaps just, be a little bit more impactful. Be a little bit more impactful there on the backside. No big deal. Spurs get the ball back. They're going to be inbounding here on the baseline and see what they do. Let's watch it through one time, and then we'll see if anything was kind of set. Okay, we got a breakdown here. Wasn't the only time the Spurs were unable to execute in this summer league. Happened all the time, but that's expected when you just throw a bunch of guys together in 2 weeks and say, go play. All right, so we're going to operate this high pick and roll with Dominick, Barlow, and Blake Wesley. Nice roll here from Barlow. Good attack here from Blake Wesley. Finds Branham out in the perimeter. Puts the ball on the floor 2 times. Finds a wide open Dominick Barlow, who takes the mid-range jumper. He hit a couple of those in this game, which showed off a nice little soft touch there. That one doesn't go down. Now, Spurs in transition. We got, who do we got back here? We got Blake Wesley and Malaki Branham still way back over here. We got to sprint. We got to find out who's guarding who. We got to stop ball. Barlow's got to stop ball. Now someone's got to react and move. See, it wasn't quick enough, right? Right there, that's a transition error. That's an error that you're looking at on film saying, look, 3 of our guards, Primo, Blake Wesley, and Branham over here, which means that no guards were getting back to stop ball, which is exactly what happens. Ball gets pushed all the way deep enough to find a wide open, easy kick out for Agbaji, who had just been killing us all game. So again, if Primo is going to be attacking the glass like this, then Blake needs to get back. So someone needs to get back. You can't have that. You can't have all 3 of your guards going after that rebound or being caught in the paint, because your big guys are now your big guys are now in charge of stopping a transition break. Come on, that's going to be a bucket in the NBA, and that's something that you talk about. All right, so we're going to go ahead and enter the ball here to Primo. Little dribble handoff, no big deal. Little drive and kick. We're finding Stewart out on the opposite side of the wing to pick and roll with Barlow. Barlow's going to work in space. Stewart kicks out to Primo, who puts the step back on him, and it actually goes down. It's a nice shot here by Primo. This is where Primo is going to go on a little run of his own and kind of just create out of nothing, right? He's just coming off of a catch. He puts one move on him, a little step back 3-pointer, goes down. That's the modern age basketball, of Primo, that Primo brings to the table. Something that we haven't had anyone in San Antonio that's able to do that, dribble, step back, hit a 3 ball on you. And the way that Primo does it is very encouraging, because he's only 19 and he's doing things that we haven't had guys in the locker room able to do for a long time. So good defensive possession so far. Nice efforts. Shot goes down. Let's see, do we need to break anything down here? Yeah, well, let's talk about Malaki Branham. Everyone's doing a great job so far. Josh Primo does a good job denying this backdoor cut. Branham does a good job of being in the right spot, but falls for this pump fake. Like, if this guy's Steph Curry, I mean, come on, dude, look at him. He's like a foot behind the line, more than a foot behind the line. All he does is give you a 2 little dribble pull up, knocks it down on you. Got to stay on your feet. If you're Malaki Branham at that point, you just got to stay down. Little errors. They're all little things. I don't know if y'all understand. Like, this is the little things that cost you buckets. That's why it's so hard to get everybody on the same page. Here's Primo attacking off the dribble. Here's a nice little walkthrough between 2 defenders, 1-2 step. Look at his launching pad. Nice little floater. Had a wide open Dominick Barlow if he was able to get the pass off to him. But I think after that last 3 ball, he was like, this is my time. Let me just see if it goes down. Nice touch. That's 5 in a row from Josh Primo. Defensively, back on ball, working a pick and roll with Dominick Barlow. Good commitment, good switch, good defense right there. Joshua Primo doesn't like switching on all pick and rolls. That's what we've seen so far, is that if he can recover enough, he just likes the big guy to show long enough just for him to get there. And then Barlow's responsibility goes back to the roller, the big guy. See, shot goes up. Barlow does a great job of looking for somebody to box out, right? That's something that we've seen already twice, is that when the shot goes up, he's not a player who immediately looks for that shot and chases down a rebound versus finding somebody to box out. And that's going to bode really well for him uh, if he gets some minutes in his rookie season. Nice little pick and roll. Gonna initiate the pick and roll with Barlow and Primo here again. The defense is switching on this one, and the big man is sunk a little bit too far deep. And Joshua Primo recognizes the space here, and he's just gonna go right up into a shot after hitting 5 in a row. This is what you do. You make it 8. All right, so here we go. 8 in a row from Primo, cuts it to 12. Ball game is a little bit out of hand, but you keep playing, keep trying to get better. Keep playing, keep playing. Play through the situation. Little defensive action here. Barlow again showing a lot of solid help on the pick and roll. And right here, different from how he just guarded with Primo, he actually has to stick with the guard and commit to that. Shows a nice contest here. Great contests. Giving up offensive rebounds off the backside has been killing them so far in this fourth quarter. They do that here. That's an extra maybe 4 or 6 points. If you can take those away, the Spurs are down 8, down 10. With a couple minutes to go, it's a different game. That's why those little things add up. Those little things add up a lot. Again, guys, if you're watching this, it's because you like the game of basketball and you want to kind of get into a film session, a coach's film session, versus just watching highlights, right? We're not just watching highlights here. A little pick and roll action here, again with Barlow. Primo, little out of control, no big deal. Gets caught up slipping on the court for a second. Still makes the correct pass. The ball gets swung around, which is what you want to do once you have the defense committed and overloaded to one side, right? So as a coach, you talk about, what is the goal? It's like the goal is to attack and collapse the defense. And once you have the defense collapsed, I mean, look at it. Primo has just scored 8 points in a row. And what that does is you get 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy's, I guess, looking maybe the only one looking at the outlet pass. But you've collapsed the defense and all the attention is on you. So he does a good job of just moving the ball. And then once that does happen, what you do is you kick it, you swing it, and you go from good to great, right? That's the Spurs mentality, going from a good shot to a great shot. So, let's see how that plays out here. If Stewart wanted to shoot it, sure. If Blake Wesley wanted to shoot it, not bad. Easy little kick around Malaki Branham in the corner. Doesn't go down, but that's exactly what you want. And Malaki just needs to be knocking those down at a high clip. Whoever is in that corner spot. We've seen that plenty of times, right? That reminds us of 2014 basketball, which was just making a lot of extra passes to find guys that are going to knock down shots. All right, defensively, we got Primo back on ball underneath, gives them a little bit of daylight, knocks it down. That's why I mentioned it earlier in the previous part of this quarter, was that if you're going to go underneath screens on Agbaji, he's telling you, I'm gonna knock this thing down. He's been hitting them all game. I think he may have had like 6 or something on the night. And Primo, he's tired, probably just scored 8 straight points and fell to the ground. Now probably wants to switch, right? We talked about how he was guarding, how we talked about earlier how Primo sometimes doesn't want to commit to the switch, and if he can get around in front, then he'll stay with his guy. But that leaves Dominick Barlow kind of in this position to be ready for both, But here, I guess he got caught up on this screen and didn't have enough energy to get over it. So he's like, switch, there. And well, there's no switch. There's no recovering at this point. Barlow's not going to get all the way out there, right? So either you go over the screen if you're Primo, or you fight harder than that to get a hand in front, right? Shot goes up, shot goes down. Double pick and roll screen here. This is what we're kind of trying to set all game. And Stewart, man, for the life of him, can't get into his spot quick enough. A little pick and pop action, pick and roll action on the backside. We're going to look to Barlow, who gets the nice end one on the inside. This is a nice move. He didn't get many of these looks throughout the game. But your 4 guy right now, which is Stewart, he looks and sees the position that Barlow has created for himself off this screen and roll. Let's watch Barlow this whole screen and roll. Usually when you're setting this double back screen, right? Barlow's going to set the first one, Stewart's setting the second one. The first guy goes and hits to the rim. Your second guy pops out to the 3-point line, right? So Barlow's going to head out to the rim, and let's see the work that he puts on number 41 to get the position that he does. So right away, sinks him, puts the bump on him, and drops and opens up to the basketball. That's textbook stuff. That's what you teach your big man. Head, get a nice bump there so you can pivot and open up to the basketball. Usually, if you're Barlow, you want to give him a target for this pass, but again, like, he's not receiving many of these passes during this game. So, he catches it anyway, quick hands, gives him the one little dribble bully move, gets the and one to go down. It's a pretty good move from Barlow, and all that really had to, and the way he created that shot all had to do with how hard he rolled off this screen, right? He set the first screen and then rolled really hard to the rim, created the bump and the separation, knocked his defender back about 3 feet, right there, and then gets the bucket to go down. It's very impressive. It's a very impressive part of his game that we really don't know how much of it we're going to see play out, but we'll find out. Okay, Primo's going off. A lot of Primo highlights. Yes, Primo played good. Agbaji played better. We're going to run through this film and kind of just, I'll narrate as it goes down. Cleveland's got an extra possession here too to run something. We got a high screen and roll, and Stewart is all over the floor. Look, man, Stewart, calm down. You gotta tell this guy, calm down, Stewart, calm down, because his guy over here is like, give me the ball. Look, let's rewind it. Look, first off, Stewart is there. I don't know why he's reacting to Barlow's guy. And now the guy in the corner is like, his hands are more ready than ever to shoot. But, Stewart gets back where he's supposed to be, I guess. Barlow with a nice defense on the pick and roll and able to push the ball up the break to Blake Wesley for a wide open layup in transition. Okay, so let's rewind this. I'm going to redo this one. Okay, so if I'm watching, if not, if I just leave it in there, whatever. I want to talk about Dominick Barlow on this defensive possession. Shows exactly, I think, the upside to what he can be in the NBA. And that's a good pick and roll defender. First off, good communication here and good effort on the switch with Blake Wesley, knowing that he has to pick up a guard, right? Takes the first move, able to stay low and agile and stay in front long enough. Great timing on the release to get just fingertips on this ball, right? Makes the rebound, creates the loose ball, picks up the rebound. But this is another part of his upside. Instead of picking up this basketball, he dribbles it and puts it on the floor. 1 dribble, 2 dribble, one-handed fling pass to Blake Wesley running in transition, who puts the ball on the floor 2 times himself, rises up, creates good protection for himself on the way up, and finishes a very nice layup on the other side. And that's a great sequence between Barlow and Wesley, and just kind of how versatile Barlow actually is. He can be a great defender, and if he gets caught up on a smaller guy and does his job well, creates a stop for himself, he's not going to be one of those big guys that catches it and just is so scared to get rid of it, and he just doesn't want to, he's just looking for someone else to pass it to, right? I mean, no shade at Drew Eubanks, but Drew Eubanks was not going to make a pass that was like not just right here to the guy right in front of him, and Barlow, for instance, is creating a fast break off of his defensive efforts, right? Which is extremely impressive. And that's what you look for in modern day bigs. It's that versatility factor. And so he shows it here. He shows good defensive instincts with good transition instincts, which is like, hey, look, loose ball. Loose ball doesn't mean, hey, pick it up and look for a guard. Loose ball means push, attack, keep the pace up. How fast can we score? Let's see. It's 24 seconds right here. Boom. He touches the basketball, puts it on the floor once. Again, extremely accurate and difficult pass made right here. up the floor in transition. Blake Wesley's going to catch the ball in motion, put it in front of himself, under control, 2 dribbles, and the Spurs are scoring in 5 seconds. 20 seconds. I mean, 4 seconds, actually. 4 seconds come off the clock in that little sequence. And that's impressive. That's something that if we can build on with some of these young cats, that's looking good for the future, right? Great effort there from the Spurs, great effort from Barlow, and great finish from Wesley. The Spurs, meanwhile, are going to do a little drive and kick action. Primo's going to get 3 more, right? And he ends up putting together like 11 points in the final 3 minutes or so, right? So a little impressive finish there by Primo, but ultimately the Spurs end up losing this game. But there was a lot of positives from it. Overall, I think that if you watch the first part of this breakdown and the second part, there are a lot of positives to take away from Jordan Hall. There are a lot of good flashes from Blake Wesley and Malaki Branham. Defensively, there's still a little bit ways to go. But ultimately there's a lot of good to take even out of this loss. Subscribe to this channel. If you want more breakdowns, I'm going to do the Golden State game next, so stay tuned for that. Like this video, share this video. If you want more breakdowns like this that are longer and they take time, you can do the channel a huge favor. You can donate to it. There's a thanks button down below. You can become a member. There's a join button down below. We can join the memberships for the channel. I'm adding a shop to the channel, so now you can buy like a Spurs Tube TV t-shirt, right? That's the only product I have up so far, but more products coming soon. Right here on YouTube, right? So that's what's awesome. I'm really committing to the whole YouTube tool set that they give you. But if you want more film breakdowns like this, and you like diving into the game, and you're not just here for highlights, please let me know down on the comment section down below. Let me know if this is something that you want more of, and if you're interested in it, let me know, because in order for me to kind of commit this amount of time, it's like an hour-long film session almost. I want to make sure you guys are there for it, right? And if you're down to learn about Spurs basketball, and if I can roll these longer film sessions into the future and into the season, that would be awesome too. Once a month, maybe twice a month, because they do take a little bit of time to put together. I am totally down doing that for y'all, but you guys need to let me know in the comment section below if you're down for that type of content. All right, so check out the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Go Spurs, go.